Hey guys, this is Elias with Softly, and in this video I'm going to show you how to import WooCommerce variable products using a CSV file and WPL import. Now, to get started, we have several options to get our file. We could use an existing file from another import. We could download a file via URL or FTP, or we could choose to upload a file directly from our computer, which is what we're going to do in this example. So let's do that. We have here our file, and once it's loaded, we just need to decide whether we want to import new items or update existing ones. Now, I don't have any products here on this site, as you can see here, so I'm gonna choose new items and select WooCommerce Products from this dropdown. Next, I'm gonna click on the Continue to Step 2 button. All right. And here on step 2, we just need to check that WPL import is detecting all of the data correctly. Now, WPL import says we have 7,000 rows and that the columns are SKU, title, description, short description, price, sell price, stock, category, images, size, visible, variations, material, visible too, and variations too. Now, if we see here in our import file, we can see that we have 7,001 rows, minus, of course, the header row that gives us the right amount of rows. So this is good. And the columns are also the ones we have here. So that's good too. So let's just continue to step 3. All right. And here on step 3, we just need to drag and drop the elements from this right panel into the appropriate import fields. Now, WPL import won't limit you to use a specific element in a specific field. You can drag and drop whatever element you want into whatever field you want it to go. Now, let's do that, starting with the title. So I have here my title element. So I'm drag and drop it here. Now we have the description and the short description. All right, so this is good. Let's continue and open up the WooCommerce add-on tab. So remember, we're importing WooCommerce variable products, so the first thing we're going to do is to select variable products from the product type dropdown. You can see that WPL import enables the variations tab, and we will get there. We just need to work our way through the tabs, dragging and dropping the elements like we did before. Now let's do that with the SKU, the regular price, now the sell price, and for the rest of the options here, I'm going to leave them as they are, but you can hover on this question mark and it will explain what this option does. Now, let's just continue with the inventory tab. And here in the inventory tab, we need to enable the manage stock option because I have a stock element here. So since I want this to work dynamically, I'm just going to drag and drop this into the stock quantity field. Now, for the low stock threshold, I'm going to say 2, but you can use whatever number works for you. And just keep in mind, guys, you can also use static data like this in the import fields. Now for the stock status field, I don't have any stock status element in my import file, so I'm just going to let WPL import decide automatically whether a product is on stock or not. So let's leave it like this. These settings, I'm going to use the default values too, so let's just keep it. For the shipping and link products tab, I'm just gonna skip all of these values because we don't have any of that information here on the import file. So that's cool. We just work with the defaults and it will be good. Now here in the attributes tab, we just need to pay very close attention to this import because we have 2 attributes, which are size and material, but we will only create variations for size, not for material, because all of the materials are the same in each product. You can see all of these variants are part of the same variable product. So we can see that we have different sizes here, but the material is the same because it's the same shoe. So yeah, I don't want to import variations for that particular attribute. So let's just add another row here and type in size and material. All right, now we need to drag and drop the values, which are these ones. All right, and we could actually disable this option right here that says in variations and WPL import won't create variations for this. Now, this is the exact same thing that happens when you're creating a variable product in WooCommerce. Let me show you really quick so you can see it's very similar. I'm gonna click here on the create button, and then in the product data, I'm gonna choose variable product. Now, when I do that, you can see that the variations tab shows up too. And when I'm creating an attribute, you can see here that we have the options for use for variations and the visible on the product page. Well, that's the same we have here. So I'll just disable this, and I wanna keep the is visible option. And I do want to create a taxonomy for all of these attributes. So with this, we're pretty much ready here, but we have a visible and variations element here. And this element is using the ones, let me show it real quick, a one number to describe a true value, meaning yes, and a 0 for false values, which is no. But if we wanted to use expat to import this dynamically, because maybe some of the products have variations for material and some other products maybe not. So the way we do this is to use here the advanced tab and set these values with expat. Now, if we hover on this question mark, we will see the accepted values for expat. And this is a bit of a problem here because we don't have yes and no, we have ones and zeros. So how do we change this dynamically on the fly? Well, you can go to our website at wplimport.com, click here on docs, and here on the import tab, you will find the custom code subsection. And if you click here on if statements, you will see this doc where we talk a little bit of structures for controlling your data. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, you will see the expat functions. Now, we can use one of these to say, well, if this element is 0, use this text, and if not, use this other one. So let's use that. You can click here on the copy button, go to your preferred text editor software. I'm gonna use the default one in Mac, but you can use Notepad or whatever. So paste this here and change the values. Now, the way this works is, this is the name of the element, which is variations too. So let's just drag and drop that here and copy this, all right? Then this is what we need to place here. And we say, if variations 2 equals 0, let's say no. And else, let's say yes. All right? So what this means is basically that if this value equals 0, then WPL import will map this as a no. And if it says otherwise, which is 1, which is the only other value we have, then it's gonna say yes. So let's copy this and paste it here. And with this, WPL import will be able to map this dynamically. Now let's do the same for is visible. We can just use the same one, but we just change the value here of the file. Now the visible one is visible too, so let's just use that. Okay, visible too, that's good. Let's copy and paste it here. All right, now let's do the same for size, and we can use actually the same ones. We just need to delete the 2, like so. If we delete this, we can use the same one for this. All right, it's good. Cool. So we have here the in variations and the is visible options. We have them dynamically with expat, so this will work. And WPL import will create variations based on all of this. Now, the next step here is to tell WPL import how is our file structure to link our variations. Now, the way we do this is here on the variations tab, and we need to read very carefully all of these options, because these options will present us with a scenario, and in this scenario is described a file structure. Now let's take this one for example. We have all variations for a particular product have the same title as a parent product. So you can see that in the example image below, we have the parent product, which is these first ones, and below that are some variations. Now these variations share the same title as the parent product. So if your file structure looks like this, then you can use this option to import your variable products. Now, the file structure that resembles the most to the file structure we're using is the one below that, because although it's very similar, it says all variations for a particular product have the same title, but there are no parent products. Now, if you see here on the import file, you will see that all of these products are, have the same title, but there are no parent products. All of these guys are variations. So since there are no parent products, I'm going to choose this option and drag and drop the product title. All right. Then for the parent SQ, there is a question mark next to the field. So it's always a good idea to hover on it and see what's going on there. Now this tooltip says leave empty to use the SQ from the general tab. Now, since we did place here an SQ element, I'm just gonna leave it blank so we can use this one. All right. And now if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that we have the manage stock options for these variations. So I'm just gonna enable this and drag and drop the stock element. Next, for the stock status, I'm gonna leave it as it is, so WPL import can decide automatically whether the product is on stock or not. All right. Now these settings, I'm gonna leave them as they are too, because the default values again works for this example. And with this, we have everything set up here in the WooCommerce add-on tab. We have the general tab, this is good. We have the inventory tab, the shipping and link products tab are skipped because we don't have that info here. Now the attributes tab, it's very good. This is a very good setup because we will create variations for all of the sizes and for the material that has different invariations and is visible settings. Now remember guys, we used these expat functions directly from our website. There is a lot of information here. You can just browse here and you will find a lot of cool stuff. Here in the developer section, we even have a list of code snippets you can use for a really large number of things. Just like I said, just go to our website at wplimport.com, click on the docs link in the menu, and just go nuts here. Now, if you're feeling a little bit lost here, just don't worry about it. If you maybe went through documentation and still can't get it to work, well, just contact our support team and we'll be more than happy to help you out. To contact our support team, you can just scroll down to the very bottom of our website and click here on the support button. Here, just fill out this form. We will get your email and get back at you real quick with the solution. Keep in mind, guys, that it's always a good idea to give us as much details about your import as you possibly can so we can have everything we need to troubleshoot your import. Now, since we're ready here and the variations tab is set up correctly too, let's just scroll down and open up the images tab. Now here on the images tab, you will see that I have these images hosted in an external server because it's not the same URL. So I'm going to choose this first option, which is download images hosted elsewhere, and drag and drop the value. Right? Now you can see that here WPL import by default chooses a comma as a delimiter. And this is good because that's the delimiter we're using here. Now, if you were using, let's say, a semicolon or something like that, you can change that here. Now, it's always a good idea to hit preview so you can confirm whether WPL import is able to access your images or not. In this case, that seems to be the case, but let's run the test to make sure of it. All right, so the test is successful. So let's dismiss this and continue with our import. I'm gonna leave these settings as they are because the default values work for us. Now, same as before, guys, you can hover on this question mark and it will show you a brief description of what this option does. Now, continuing with our import, we will skip the custom fields tab Then we need to enable the categories here on the taxonomies tab. And we have here our categories. Now, in this category element, you can see that we have several categories separated with a comma. So the way we import this in WPL import is selecting the second option that says each product have multiple categories. Now, WPL import is selecting by default the comma as the separator, but again, guys, you can change this to whatever is on your file. All right. Now, if your file structure is maybe hierarchical or have another weird format, you can just read the other options and use the one that resembles the most to the file structure you're using. Now, this is done. The other product options tab, I'm just gonna skip it. And the function editor is very easily the most powerful feature here on the WPL import. So as you remember, we used these if statements here on the import field, like so, here. But if you have a more complex logic you need to use or whatever, you can use here the function editor. And if you click here on custom code inline PHP, you will get the documentation on using PHP functions in our import file. So yeah, this is very advanced, guys. So if you know PHP, just know you can use it here. Now this is done. So let's continue to step 4. And here on step 4, we need to choose a unique identifier. Now the unique identifier is basically a element or combination of elements that's unique for each row across the whole file. Now we could actually use the SQ because the SQ is an element that's different for each one of these rows. But there is a simpler way. We can just click here on the auto detect button and WPL import will just choose the right one for us. Now in this example, WPL import chose the title, the SQ, the size, and material. And this is a combination of elements that's very unique for each row. Now let's just go with it. You can read what this option does if you hover on this question mark too, but I'm just gonna leave it as it is because those are good settings. Now for the scheduling options, that's a very requested feature in WooCommerce imports and exports because it will allow you to automatically run these tasks on a schedule. So let's say you want to import products automatically every single day because maybe you want to update the stock levels or maybe update the prices or whatnot. Well, you can do that here and WPL import will take care of that for you. Just click on the links in the description below and you will be taken to our documentation where you can learn more about this. Now, let's click on the continue button and run our import. And this is gonna take a minute or two, so I'm just gonna pause the video here and come back when it's ready. All right, guys, so the import is completed. Let's see if the products came in okay. All right, so we have several options here. How about we just see this in the front end of the site? All right, so we have here this beautiful website and we have all of these products, which seems to have been imported correctly. Let's open this one up and see what's going on here. All right, so we have here our title, the description, and the variants are here only for size. And if we see here on the additional information tab, we can see the material attribute here, which is visible, just not a variation attribute. So this is good. We have here our SQ, the categories are good. You have some images and we can see the different variations here. So this is looking very good. Let's see how this looks in the edit product page. All right, we have the title, description, the images, the categories are here. The stock quantity is here too. We have the attributes. And as I said before, guys, the expat expression we have with the if statement worked because we have this as not used for variations and this one is used for variations. Now here in the variations tab, we can see that the different sizes have their own image, their own SQ, their own regular price, sell price. So yeah, guys, this is very good. This is looking real nice. So yeah, that's it, guys. This is how you import WooCommerce variable products using a CSV file and WPL import. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn more about how to import or export other data like orders, products, reviews, comments, and other post types, just check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website at wplimport.com. See you next time.